long for us to be able to make a decision on this?
It's only been 5 months.
Oh, okay.
So it's, it looks like it's $86.46 that we need to credit it. I thought this was more than that. So since they have verified that it was shut off correctly, then I'll make a motion
I
that,
already did.
Well, you started, but you got cut off.
I'll make a motion that we stop the sewer and water bill capital improvements and debt relief on 2778 East Beaver Road. You want the Bay County water number? You got it
I've
there?
got it here.
Okay.
Just to clarify, it says the credit is $86.46, and it says first quarter 24 bill and second quarter 24 bill, each for $41.17. So wouldn't that be $82.34? What's the difference?
There must be some kind of small penalty that they didn't pay. Must be a penalty on it. So since I have a motion on the floor, do I hear a second?
I second it. The account number in question to this is K101.
Surely has the
Yeah,
account number.
Okay.
34169-04.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I know, roll call. I'm running out of room, kids. Okay. Cruz,
Yes.
Class,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes. So the next thing under new business is we approved some the poverty exemption back in, let's see, it looks like February 12th of '24. The state didn't like the verbiage on our resolution. So originally last week we took off what the state didn't want and wrote a new one. Well, unbelievably, as of Thursday last week, they changed again, so we changed it to the new one. And to approve the property exemption and turn it into the state. They're constantly changing the rules. So,
Make a motion, go forward, poverty exemption.
I'll second it.
well, this is money, we're probably gonna have to do a roll call vote on that too. But this is actually changing what the state wants to be read on the poverty exemption. They're the ones guiding us on what needs to be changed on it.
Class,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
So I think since we are, let's do E, H, and I all in one fell swoop. We will table the lawn maintenance, the RFP, and the spraying. Do we have a workshop that will probably combine them all together?
I think there needs to be an RFP that goes out before we table it, so that when we have the workshop, we're ready to receive sealed bids to go along with our purchasing policy.
Well, we can't open the sealed bids at a workshop.
Then we can
We
make it a
probably
special
would have to
meeting.
have a special meeting for this
Special
money.
meeting.
So I would make a motion that the RFP be drafted, put in the Pink County Journal
Be drafted.
for lawn cutting, and we would have,
We have to table it then if we're gonna do,
Yes.
we have to table it for this
We're gonna
meeting.
table
Yep.
E, H, and I.
Are we gonna do so by setting a date to get together?
First, I'm done.
wanna set a date at tonight's meeting when the workshop would be? You wanna set a date for the workshop?
So we're gonna do a workshop to do the RFPs, then post them, and then a special meeting to review the bids. Is that what we're?
Well, I think we could do the RFP and get it in the paper. We might even be able to get it in tomorrow to get it in the paper.
Oh, Monday noon.
Well, we put stuff in on Tuesday morning.
Sometimes it works,
And
sometimes
ask
it
for the
doesn't.
bids, sealed bids by the middle of, what? The middle of June?
Well, no, he's gonna quit cutting at the end of May, so.
Well, we could probably find somebody to cut the lawn.
Oh,
We'll fence it in and throw a couple of sheep out
Of
here.
course,
So,
like the
I
four
think
people
we
you
should,
just
if it gets
handed
in the
out
paper,
cards to.
calm down. If it gets in the paper, if we can get it in the paper for Thursday, we probably could do the 3rd of June.
Wow, if we got it in the paper
Like you
for
saw,
Thursday, why could we not have a meeting on the 27th to open the bids?
I don't know if you'd have the bids back by then,
Well-
that's only a week. Of course, you're probably gonna get anybody who reads the paper.
Is there already existing standard verbiage for an RFP for this?
Should be, from last year.
It can't be too tough to mow the lawn.
Well, it has to be pretty specific to our purchasing policy, so it actually is a sealed bid. So that there's a deadline, so it tells exactly when it's gonna be open.
I think we could probably use last year's and take off the trimming and any excess on it. I don't know if we can get it in the paper, so it might not go in till the 23rd to start with. I think you're gonna have to give the newspaper article at least till the 3rd of June, which is a Monday, to get it back to us. Not that many people get the King County Journal, but.
Well, we have so many bids right now, so those people can be notified, put an ad out in the PJ, and then go from there. But sealed bids would be nice, because then you know somebody's not tampering with the bids.
So we have a motion on the floor that we're going to table E, H, and I. We're gonna do an RFP on the lawn only.
Well, you might as well do the spraying one too, because spraying's gonna have to be done.
I know, but that's gonna need some verbiage on it. So if we're gonna do a workshop, we might as well do the verbiage on exactly what they're gonna spray. So we're gonna do the RFP on the lawn only and give a return date of sealed bids on June 3rd.
At what time?
4 o'clock. They have to have 4 o'clock on June 3rd for the sealed bids.
We have training until 4:30 that day.
Well, that means they only have to get them to us.
Okay.
That's not
Well,
the,
no, the RFP has to say what point the sealed bids will be opened at a special meeting. It has to actually tell them so that they can be present for the special meeting for the opening of the sealed
6
bids.
PM or 7 PM on
Yeah.
the, so say 7, it's a Monday, 7 PM on that Monday.
well, not if you got training until what time?
4:30.
By 36, so that's 2.5 hours later.
Is it on site or is it out of town?
No, it's at the library.
Oh,
It's Bureau of Elections training.
we can't do 4
Do 4.
Well,
Do
let's,
6.
can't we just say that the bids need to be here by the 3rd, we're gonna open them on the 4th? And have our meeting on Tuesday, the 4th.
At what time? On the 4th. At 5, at 6? What do you think?
I'd like to have it at 5 o'clock. Would that, anybody, 5 o'clock on the 4th work?
To make it work.
So 5 o'clock on the 4th, we'll call that a special meeting for the lawn.
Yeah.
So that's a special board meeting on opening the bids.
Okay, is this all one motion?
Yeah, it's all one motion.
One motion, we're gonna table E, H, and I. for the lawn maintenance, the RFP in the spring,
Right, and we're gonna do
to wait for a workshop
the RFP is going to be put in the paper
and
for the
paper,
lawn only.
for cutting lawn only.
With the return date.
Yep. With return date, sealed bids on June 3rd at 4 o'clock, and they will be opened at a special meeting on Tuesday, June 4th at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
And Charlie, I think, started this motion. You said it, but then Charlie, I don't know, who made it? Who wants to second it?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
You can
Okay, thank
second
you.
it.
Okay. Oh, I suppose we want to. Okay. DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Davison,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Plass.
Yes.
Okay, we have a FOIA appeal, 02405. Let me get caught up here.
This is a very thorough appeal.
Yes,
The original was not. Was not 3 pages long. The original,
Well, this is basically saying that this is the FOIA I put in, but I didn't receive any of this information, right? That is in existence, no correspondence were provided. And, you know, this seems to be what we keep running into. We talked about this a little bit last month, that there needs to be some kind of clarity for people that are appointed or hired to positions, as well as elected officials, that they have to keep everything. They have to keep everything. You know, even that one that I just sent you, I sent you 219 emails for that. 219 emails. That took forever to pull all that together. But I had
you
them
don't
all.
get paid for it.
No. But I had them all. But we have all of these things where people are utilizing, whether it's a personal cell phone or otherwise, they're utilizing a device, they're communicating with people, and then when a FOIA comes in, it's like those communications never even happened. That shouldn't be the case. This
Well,
is-
as far as finding any of these building permits and all of that kind of thing, I was not the only one, but others have looked in the file cabinet for a folder for the 1640 South Huron Road. There is no file in there with that address. Why? I don't know. I mean, it could have been because they didn't keep that stuff back then. We have a little bit of information from Joan's file that Melissa was able to print off for me, but I don't know how to find something that's not there.
so,
And if he got them from the county records, the county clerk records, I guess, I don't understand why why he needs to get them from us. But back in January for the original, I did not know that much about FOIAs back then. And it's been my understanding that if the documents are here in the building, then I find them and those are given. But I am not, by law, needing to create something that's not there. So if they're not in the office in one of these files, and I don't, by the FOIA
So-
laws, that I don't have to create it, I don't know.
So
What
the
the
only
bond-
thing we're answering is whether you have this documentation or not.
But the point is that any communications that are taking place between an elected official, an appointed official, an employee of the township with a citizen are eligible for FOIA. I mean, even Greg told me that, oh, you use your personal cell phone, oh, they could FOIA that. Even Justin has told me that. Oh, I'm gonna call you so that, we're not gonna get FOIA'd. That doesn't even make
So the
sense.
answer
Those
to
records are
this-
not gonna be in
the-
this building.
The
That
question to
doesn't make
this
sense.
appeal is whether the clerk has the documentation or not.
So we have no documentation about the building of the home or nothing.
There's no address found for 1640. There's 16.
How does that happen?
1650, which is right next door, right?
How does that happen?
You don't know the
do-
address next door to you?
We don't know why there isn't
We don't
one.
know, I mean,
So I can safely tell you that some of the things he speaks of here isn't exactly correct, because I know the zoning administrator has been out to his property, and I know I've been out to his property twice.
So what are you saying is not correct?
I'm saying that I make a motion that this appeal for, what did I say, 2024-05-05, this information is not in the township office's possession, the clerk's possession.
Okay, so, but has Fred been contacted about the text messages related to this? Because they obviously should still exist and should still be available for this, and that is eligible for FOIA.
That would be the original FOIA, that's not this appeal.
It's listed right here on page 2.
A lot looks to that too.
Well, back in January also, like I said, I had learned that if it wasn't here. Since then, I have had to contact people for information. So I'll say, part of that was I did not know all of the law back then.
But since this appeal was received, which was on April 29th, has there been any contact with Fred about having these text messages retained?
I was told that he did all of his phone calls by, landlines or whatever.
We pay him for his cell phone. We pay him for his cell phone.
I got them.
I'm
So-
saying that,
I got a lot.
In addition to that, there's a reference here where Fred Schmidt is saying that he has talked to the township lawyer, he has sent information to the township lawyer, he's meeting with the township lawyer, and hopefully can get some answers. Is there any billing for that was actually happening? I mean, was the township billed for that meeting with the zoning administrator and the township attorney? Because that should be on our invoices, and that is in this building.
Some of this wasn't on the original FOIA.
Well, and I don't have a copy of the original FOIA, I was never made privy to it,
We are not
so.
talking about the original FOIA, we are
This
talking
is an
about.
appeal of the original FOIA. This is an
And
appeal
the
specific to
clerk has
that.
stated that this information is not here.
How can you tax me? You have no information on my property, how can you tax me? My taxes got raised 24,000 this year.
Real good point if you think about it. How do you raise the taxes on something that doesn't exist and we have no proof that it was ever built?
And there's an easement going through my property, there's no records of that.
Well, I imagine there is down at the county. We wouldn't keep an easement. That was for the houses built below you.
You should have one for my house,
An
if it's
easement?
my property.
An easement?
Yeah. The easement goes through my property.
Well, that's on your deed. It's on your closing costs. Did you build the house new?
Nope.
Well, then it's on your, in your closing, your title insurance, it talks to you about the easement. So we wouldn't keep that information. The original owner must have just gave an easement over that property to get to those properties behind. So I make a motion that the information, this appeal is on this information, and this information is not in the clerk's possession. And this
Nobody
time-
has text messages, anything. 'Cause I got them all.
It's not in the clerk's possession at this time.
Oh, so they don't get to here, so they're avoidable. They're not around? 'Cause
The fact that we pay his expenses every month, which includes the use of his cell phone, and clearly he used a cell phone to send text messages, and the fact that we have not gotten those text messages for a service we paid for, I think is an even bigger problem.
It's a different issue.
No, it's a
No, that's
FOIA
an issue in and of the same.
We
'Cause
paid
here's
for
the
that
deal.
service.
When the FOIA laws were put in place, just like I want to use the phone in that office, and I come in here and that phone don't work. I don't want to use my phone. But guess what? That phone don't work. So I'm given no choice but to use my personal phone or go out to that desk and use a phone. That's wrong. I was told more than 6 months ago that that office was being set up so the trustees would have a desk to work from. That means the computer would be working, the phone would be working. That's baloney, because it don't. So now, you know, instead of just picking the phone up and calling somebody, you have that luxury. Melissa, Sherry, Shirley, but the two trustees that have a fiduciary responsibility, well, who gives a rep?
You can have my phone.
But the problem is, in that
You get
room,
blackballed
it's-
like the rest of us.
you know, it's
blackball.
it's not a functioning office. If you want to go in and sit down, close the door, and talk to somebody, you should be able to do that. Everybody else in this place can do that.
Picking and choosing, huh?
The problem is, in today's society, people use
Oh.
cell phones. And since people use cell phones, you will not have, at any one time, all the documentation ever needed for a FOIA, because people use cell phones.
Somebody needs a
So they can't appeal it because you'll never have the documents. That, I think, no reflection on you. Society has created a problem that
The courts
the
have already
government
ruled
and
on,
everybody, you know,
the courts have already ruled on this, that this is something that is eligible for FOIA. So,
This is an appeal.
Oh my God.
The original FOIA didn't look like this. The original FOIA didn't have all these.
well, then I would say, where's the original FOIA? If this is gonna be the
yeah, we were
grounds we
never
set
provided
on.
with it.
No,
I don't have it.
Nor
No,
do I.
I mean,
the bottom line is the clerk says she don't have this information.
But I didn't get an answer. Has Fred Schmidt been contacted? Has he been asked? We paid for that service on his cell phone. Has he been asked to
I
provide
know.
these? Because he should have been. He should have been asked that. If not,
I'm
initially,
sure he
he
was.
should have been asked that at the point of this appeal coming in. But it doesn't appear that that happened. A FOIA is not something to mess around with. This is our legal responsibility to our people. And if they ask for something, we can't just respond with a whole,
Calm down a little bit.
I'm
We're
plenty
sitting
calm.
right here. We're sitting right here. And I'm sure Fred was asked, and she don't have the information.
So he gets a free pass on providing information that he should have, and by law, he's required to keep. For what? Why? Why does he get a free pass? Because that's not how FOIA works. That's not how FOIA works.
If he
We are
doesn't-
opening ourselves up for lawsuits
Yep.
because FOIA is not being properly administered here.
Right.
And that is the most important point.
My cell phone only keeps phone numbers and calls until from December.
Mine don't even keep